Hi guys, how are
Hi.
you? So we have Parv and who's this?
Me?
Yeah,
Okay.
TK? Ask him what he is.
How old are you? 9.
How old?
9.
You might have to speak up, bud.
9? Okay. And so Parv, can you pronounce your name for everybody?
Parvaneh,
Parvaneh. And what is the name of your company?
Vitality Home Realty,
Vitality. So that's your own company?
my own company.
Okay, so we'll talk all about that in a minute, but first let's talk about your cultural tradition today.
Perfect. So do you want to give a little bit of a background on this? Oh, I know more about it. So my mother's side of the family is from Syria, and my dad's side of the family is from Iran. So they're Middle Eastern. So growing up, my grandmother had a little ranch in Milwaukee, and my entire family would go over there multiple times a week, but mostly on Fridays after the workday. And the adults would all sit around the table and they would drink Arabic coffee in their little cups and saucers. My grandma would make pots and pots of it and put it in the middle of the kitchen table. And all the adults would sit there and have really super serious discussions in Arabic. And like 30 kids are running around her little, 1,100 square foot ranch while the adults talked and socialized. So I grew up around my grandmother's kitchen table, drinking her Arabic coffee. And so I thought it'd be fun to have TK try it for the first time because he's actually never had it.
Ooh, let's try it. I don't have Arabic coffee, but we have our own coffee.
Experience here of Arabic coffee.
Seems a little hot still.
It's okay. It'll be good.
Those are gorgeous teacups. So those were your grandma's?
Yeah.
It's a little strong.
Do you like it? You're going to get really hyper.
Do you want to tell them about the cups? She said they were really pretty. You want to tell her about them?
Oh, so this I used to have like tea parties with my grandma when I was littler, and like this one's my special one that I always used to use. And they're really old, like 2 centuries or something like that.
Where are they from? So you said your grandma's from Syria?
So they're from Syria.
So those cups are, okay. The cups are from Syria too.
So basically, really strong coffee beans, Arabic coffee beans if you can find them, and you grind them really finely, and then you put cardamom in it, and you boil a pot of water, and once it starts boiling, you add the coffee grounds, and then like it's this weird, like on and off again as it foams. You stir it, you pull it off until the foam settles, and then it's like a whole process.
Oh, fun. Well, thank you for sharing that with us. So tell us about your company and how you started it. And well, first of all, back up for everybody. And TK, how many brothers and sisters do you have?
3, not counting me.
So Parv, you have 4 kids.
4 kids. How old are they? What are their names?
So Savvy and Nora are twins, and they're 3. Then Ace is 1.
When will he be 2?
In like a few weeks.
Yeah.
Till 26.
Oh, okay. Busy. So how did you tell us how you started your company and all about that, and then how you managed doing it with 4 kids at home?
Yeah. So I actually got my real estate license when I was, so I've had my license for 17 going on 18 years. Is that the right math? Let's call it 17 years. I worked for John L. Scott in West Lynn, where I grew up. And eventually I started working for a builder selling new construction. And so I was an in-home sales representative, I guess you could say. And I trained other new agents under me to be in new home sales. And I did that from about 2004-ish to 2007. And the market really was crazy good and then really bad. So in 2007, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go open my own brokerage. And people thought I was crazy because it was like literally the worst timing you could possibly imagine to go out on your own. So I left like a salary paid, good income position to go out on my own because I just felt like the timing was right. And
So what and what? Yeah, I guess so. But why did you think the timing was right,
so
especially with the market?
I loved my job when I started it. And how can I put this in a polite? I worked with a bunch of men who were much older than me at the time. I mean, still much older than me. And nothing that I said or brought to the table seemed to be of value. And it became this like everyday thing where I would try to give my opinion or want to do things a certain way and was just constantly kind of shut down. And it became exhausting. And so I would go home every day and I would talk to my fiance, soon to be husband, about it. And it just got to a point where I was like, you know what, I can do this on my own and how I want to do it. And I might be young, but I can use that to my advantage.
Yeah,
That's
good
what I
for
think.
you. So this is the example that I always like to talk about. One of my older women friends is has had like several businesses, and I was telling her about Sheryl Sandberg from Facebook, her book Lean In, and she's like, "Oh, we don't lean in, we just walk out," which is kind of what you. I mean, that's what you did. You're not leaning into the men that are ignoring you. You're just going to start your own thing.
Yep.
It feels like kind of in this day and age a lot that's what's happening to a lot of my friends, and I mean I can talk about that in the PR or marketing sense as well. But anyway, so what was that like when you started that, especially in the recession?
It was exciting, but also nerve-wracking because again, I went from like a salary paid position. We had just bought a brand new house. We had just gotten married, I believe 2 months prior. So it was really, I was sticking my neck out there. So it was nerve-wracking, but the best decision I've ever made one of the best decisions I've ever made in my entire life.
Yeah.
And it's been great. And those people that I used to work for, I'm still friends with now. And they got it. They understood why I did what I did. And at the same time, I felt like builders at that time were starting to go under, and he couldn't necessarily pay me what I had been making, and he was struggling as well. So I kind of felt like the timing was right because I was releasing him of a pretty big salary that he was giving me during a really hard time for home builders. So I looked at it a bunch of different ways.
And so then, and that was before you had kids?
That was before I had kids. Yeah, because TK will be 10 this year. And that was in 2007.
So then what happened? How did your business change after you had kids, and like how has that been?
Yeah, so after, I mean, juggling and the balancing act, as you know, when I first opened my company, I would say for the first 10 years, I had a really hard time with balance and like turning it off. I would work nonstop, which meant my phone was always on me and I was always on my computer and taking phone calls, maybe when I shouldn't have. And I really worked hard at balancing things better. So if I'm going to one of my children's like sporting events, I'll tell my clients like I am in a appointment, sometimes just because I think that everyone needs that family time. And so that's really what's worked for me, is just keeping it honest with myself, and prioritizing my family right now because they need me. And, they only stay young for so long is what I keep hearing.
Mm-hmm. So do you have any questions for TK, like about his mom's business?
I don't think so.
Well, TK, what do you think about your mom's business?
I don't really know.
It's pretty cool. I think it's cool that your mom, she's her own boss and she can make her own schedule. And
But I don't really know too much like about what she like. I'm not like the biggest like with it. Like
yeah, you don't really know what she does yet, but someday you'll see because it's cool.
He's totally being shy right now because he definitely knows what I do because he's been with me.
I know what you do is just that, like you sell houses, and I just don't really know how to do it.
Haven't you been to like dozens of home inspections as a baby? And you've put on lock boxes for me on houses. You've met clients.
Like 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what's different about what she's doing is she doesn't have anyone really helping her, even with like the paperwork or filing the paperwork. She has to figure that out all on her own. Because I actually used to be a realtor too, and I was a realtor around that time that the market crashed. I mean, I stopped then. So you basically
Stopped then. That's what.
you took
Yeah.
it like a whole different level. But what?
Funny. So you stopped around that time?
Oh yeah, but I had a baby. So I had my first baby, Ben, and so I was trying to sell real estate with him, and I would take the baby to inspections,
Mhm.
and it was just like the market tanked, and I was just like not interested anymore.
Yeah.
And I stopped, but I don't know if I didn't have a baby, I don't know what I would have, if I would have done, my own company or what.
Right.
But so, and I'm curious if you think that real estate is good for mom's job, but
I think you have to have a really thick skin to be in real estate, first of all, and you got to love it because it has its, like every job, right? It has its ups and downs. But with real estate, for me, I tend to take on everyone's transactions as my own, and sometimes that can be an emotional roller coaster of feelings when you're working with someone. I view it as a positive thing. My clients view it as a positive thing, but if you don't have that thick skin, it can really end your career shortly.
well, so, and I realized, I think now I would be better at it. I was young when I was doing it. So I started probably when I was 25. And you said you were young when you started too, but
I was 19.
yeah. So it was a break in between marketing jobs. So, and it was a whole thing. I was marketing a 50 unit development in Northwest Portland. Then I also had to get my license. So I was never really coming in with like the real estate mindset, but the development was a year late. And so because of that, I was like, well, what the heck am I going to do? So I guess I'll sell real estate.
Yeah.
So
And
then
people do fall back on real estate. I mean, I probably get once or twice a month, I'll get a mom reach out to me and say, I'm really interested in getting my real estate license. What do you think? And I encourage them, but I also tell them the truth of how it can be hard. And like, if you don't stick it out for 5 years ish to build your network and those referrals, it, it's hard.
So, and is it that flexible, the schedule? Because I hear moms think that it's great because of the flexible schedule, but is it really? Because you're on other people's schedules.
Yeah. So for us, it works out really great because my husband's also a small business owner around the neighborhood. And so he works a normal 9 to 5-ish job. And with real estate, I find that I'm busiest in the evenings and weekends. So he's home with the kids most of those times. And I can do a lot of my paperwork and emails and such from home. And my mom's close by, so she'll come help if I have someone, which happens, who will call and say, this house just hit the market. I want to go see it right now. And I need to go do that. And so there have been times where I've shown up with carloads of children that were our own.
It's like, well, what do you expect if they don't give you a heads up? What are you going to do?
And that's the thing too, like after doing it for 17 years, all of my clients are repeat clients and referrals. I don't market. So I make it pretty clear, like I'm a mom and like I have children and you might meet them, you might see them, you might hear them in the background sometimes, and they're all cool with that. I mean,
so do you work with a lot of moms in the neighborhood or people that are in your situation?
I don't do a ton of business in Eastmoreland on purpose. I not because I don't, well, no, because I don't really want to. I mean, I love where I live. Like I love it here and I don't want to make it weird. So I don't really do much in Eastmoreland. I'll sell people homes in Eastmoreland, but I don't necessarily seek listings in Eastmoreland. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And where do you seek listings?
I do a lot of inner, like Northeast. I used to do a lot of Milwaukee, Happy Valley. I do some stuff downtown, like condos. I have one in Gresham right now. Just
Okay.
it's where my people land, like my referrals and people I've worked with in the past.
So, talk to me about your new thing the new community engagement thing that you're doing to help small businesses. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. Well, do you want to give a couple words of what you view that as?
So like twice the news had just like surprised and like come down in 45 minutes.
Like they gave you no notice. It's like a real estate client.
None.
That's like my life.
So like this has been happening for like the twice in the last 2 weeks.
Uh-huh.
And it's basically like she'll give someone like $5,000 of her commission.
That's not that dollar amount.
It's amount. A percentage of the commission goes to what?
To a small business that the seller picked, the buyer was.
Yeah, to help small businesses.
Pretty good definition of it. Yeah, basically, living where we do, we're so lucky to have all these small businesses around, and they give us so much. Our community, our schools, they're always there. And they're wonderful people, and they're hurting right now. And so I was like, gosh, what can I do? I don't really know what I can do. And then I started thinking about it. I was like, well, my whole business is based on philanthropy and like giving back. So that's always been a model I've had built into my company. So forever, a certain percentage has gone towards a charity. I'm at the end of the year, I'll make donations and my clients' names will be on it. And that's just something I've done. So I'm like, okay, let's step it up a notch. What can we do right now to help specifically small businesses, not just nonprofits? And so after talking to Ryan at PDX Sliders about my idea, he was like, that's awesome. No matter what the amount like that you could give, we would be super grateful for it right now. So the idea is, if you're going to buy a home in Eastmoreland, when it closes, after I get my commission, you'll tell me like which small business means something to you and that you want to help. And then Vitality will cut a certain amount of a check, and then we'll distribute that check together to that business. And right now with my first one that I put into escrow, I had the buyer's agent agree to do it and the lender. So I had less than one transaction agreeing to help a small business. So.
And do you remember which ones they picked to help?
No, not at that point yet. No, it hasn't closed yet. And they're it's out in Gresham. So it's my sellers. And so I kind of just told them, let me know like a list of small businesses that you guys rely on that you would love to support right now. And so they're going to get back to me with a few that they really love.
Yeah, because small businesses are struggling right now, especially the brick and mortar.
Yep.
And so how is not that I even prepped you to ask you this, but how is the real estate market going? Is it hard because real estate has been deemed an essential service?
In Oregon, not in Washington, they can't do much right now. I don't believe. I know that all construction's been halted, open houses have been halted, as they should. So it's interesting. It's been changing almost day by day with how I feel about the market, if that makes sense. In the beginning, I was like, it's okay. Like, we'll figure it out. Like, no big deal. But now it's a little bit more serious. I've had my clients temporarily withdraw their listings that are currently on the market, and my new listings that were set to go live today, actually, we are postponing because technically in Oregon, if your house is in RMLS and someone wants to come look at it, you got to let them in. You got to let them see it. So if people don't want literally strangers and carfuls of people coming through their home during this COVID-19 thing, then they should probably pull their house for a couple of weeks until we know, where this is headed. If it doesn't bother you and you want to set up some like hand washing stations and like turn on the lights on for people before they come in your house and open doors, then great. But I think realtors all are doing things a little bit differently. I'm not out showing property right now. For a multitude of reasons, but I'm happy to go out on my own and take a virtual tour for you or FaceTime you from a home that's for sale if the seller will let me in, but I'm not going to take you with me because I just don't think that that's the rules everyone's trying to follow right now.
Mm-hmm. So you're just kind of being flexible, adjusting, and you can do virtual showings.
Creative as much as I can. And the market, I think, was great before all this. Things were moving, prices were good. And, I think I mentioned this in one of my other interviews, was that it's not like 2007 and 2008, like where the market crashed. It's just this weird frozen time. And we're all just trying to figure out like what to do, like, and how to make,
Mhm.
and to help each other through that.
Yeah, it's almost like an extended snow week because I mean, I've worked in real estate marketing for a while, and every time that there's a snow situation, the
Right.
numbers drop a little bit, not the prices, but the sale numbers. And it's like, why was that? Oh yeah, because it snowed the whole week in January. So
Kids are home. Like, hello. So if your house is in the market and you have 4 little kids at home, it might not be show ready. Like, it might not be clean,
yeah,
organized, and ready for showings.
yeah. So that's nice to just honor that and then respect where people are, and we can all kind of pause a little bit too. So yeah, well, as I don't know if there's any questions for TK or any questions about the business.
No, I don't think so.
What grade are you in? And are you at Dunaway?
No, I used to be, and I'm in 5th grade.
You're in
She's
fifth
a Holy Family. What grade are you in, TK?
Grade.
Oh,
And what school do you go to?
Dunaway.
oh, teacher.
Who's your teacher?
Miss Kujo.
Oh,
Yeah.
we didn't have Miss Cujo.
She's great. They're all great.
Yeah, yeah. So who did you have, Audrey?
Mr. Chassis.
Ah,
Yeah, he's 5th grade now, right? Yeah.
Is he? Oh,
Yeah,
okay. So do you ever think that you're going to bring brokers into your shop at some point?
I used to have 5.
You did?
5 other girls, and they were all moms, and they were doing it part-time-ish, and 2 of them don't do it anymore, and one of them moved to like a much bigger company, and the other one moved to Germany. So now it's just me and one other girl who's a mom and does it, part-time, and she loves it and does it whenever she can and whenever she's needed.
So she essentially sells under you.
Under my company name. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't have like an overhead or an office space. So I'm virtual basically. So are all of my brokers. So there's no like desk fee necessarily. There's just like a small portion, and they're really free to do, most of what they want to do on their own.
But so you're the managing principal broker of your own company. And so in doing that, does that mean you have to kind of read through their paperwork?
Every transaction.
And so you are responsible if something happens with their.
Well, if something happens, nothing ever has, knock on wood, but I am.
So it's a big deal what you're doing. So you are definitely downplaying it. So people might not really understand. There's a big difference between what Parv is doing and what everyone in the neighborhood calls her Parv, and what other realtors are doing.
Yeah. Yeah, most people work for like Windermere or Living Room Realty, and they're a broker. They're also a broker underneath a principal broker. And so I am the principal broker and owner of the company. And
you also sell. So you also have your own clients. So you're kind of wearing 3 hats is what it is. And then you're also a mom.
And that these days that's taking up a lot of my hat space, I guess you could say.
Well, because you have 2-year-old. So, and then do you have any tips or tricks for moms that want to work from home when they have their kids at home? Especially now with us having to be home together.
I mean, lots of coffee. No. It's been nice with my husband home because I've been able to delegate, like, all right, you're home, which is weird. So I'm going to take a couple hours and lock myself into my closet with my desk and my computer and do some work. And you can take care of the kids, which is kind of nice. I haven't had that. But usually I have a routine with my kids. Like when they nap or when they're having their quiet time, it's basically when I do all the things, that 3-hour window of time. And one of the 3 has decided to stop napping this week, and it's been super fun. But it changes day by day. It changes. You just kind of got to roll with it.
Yeah, but it's kind of like real estate changes and the market changes. And so, and it's kind of, I noticed as a realtor, I mean, from what I see is it's not as busy in the summer or the holidays for me. And so I'm thinking, oh, well, this is good for a mom because you don't have kids in school in summer or holidays. I don't know if that's wrong now.
Yeah, I mean, with summer comes a lot of trips and things that you want to do with your family. So, yeah, and like weekends, I enjoy the weekends, like I said, because my husband's home. But sometimes people want to be at the sporting events, and I think as my kids get older, what time of day is convenient might change for me, because right now evenings and weekends are great. But if he continues to play like soccer and has evening and weekend games, I might feel a little bit differently. And when my kids are all in school, which is not that far away, my life has changed a lot of money.
Yeah, 6 hours. Woohoo! That's a lot. Yeah. Well, thank you.
I think I did want to talk about real quick. He had rehearsed. He was going to tell you a little bit about some of our cultural foods that we eat, and like why I'm maybe like wearing all this stuff. This is the first time I've gotten dressed. So it feels good to like put on makeup and stuff. But my culture wears a lot of gold. Gold is very prominent in the Persian culture. I'm wearing my tigers because I just feel like very. And then my like a boho kind of headbands that you might see in the Middle East. More of a trendy one. But what kind of stuff do we have like every other day?
So it's generally like a rice base. But there's a lot of like different ones. But there's like 3 ones that my grandpa would make the most.
What do you call your grandpa?
Well, 2.
What do you call your grandpa?
So it's,
you don't know what you call your?
I do. It's Syrian for grandpa.
Is it Sito?
That's a grandma.
Oh, so what is it?
A Jiddu. It's the Syrian name for grandpa.
Jiddu?
Yeah, he normally he used to make like one a lot, but he doesn't make it anymore. As rice, herbs, steak, and kidney beans. It's really good. Then it also has like lemon balls that make it more like sour and gives it more flavor. And then there's lubia polo, which that has
Yeah, that's what I've been doing lately too.
Green. That's where you talk.
Also lubia polo, which has it has green beans, steak, and rice.
Everything has rice, basically.
Yeah, everything has rice. And then also baglia polo. That has steak.
Wrong.
No, it has rice.
Rice.
Green beans.
Wrong.
Green beans and turmeric chicken.
It has lima beans and dill and turmeric chicken.
Oh, I think it was the other one.
Yeah.
So you make that like every other day?
Oh.
No.
I don't make that.
Oh, okay. Who makes that?
Makes it.
Jiddu/grandpa.
Yeah. So
my
dad, his name is Kaveh. He's from Iran, and he cooks all the Persian dishes for us. My mom's name is Kausar. They call her Kathy. She's from Syria, and she grew up here. Her whole family's here. Siddu and Jiddu are from, the names are Arabic, my mom's culture. And I can understand all Arabic. I can speak a little bit of it just from growing up around it. My dad, not so much because he didn't have any family here growing up. And he speaks Farsi. So my parents speak 2 different languages, but they speak English, and that's what they speak in the house. But it is fun because he delivers to us like twice a week. He'll make just tons of food and deliver.
Really?
My littles grub. Like they cannot get enough of Juju's rice. Like that's all they want. It's good. And what's the best part of it? What's the best part of the rice?
The tahdig, which is at the bottom of the pan, it's fried, so it's like crispy and it's like crunchy too.
And everyone fights.
That sounds so good. We're gonna have to go hit that up.
Let me know. I'll add your house as a stop on this delivery.
Yeah. Well, that's so fun. I'm glad. So, and then your parents, did they meet here in America?
They met at Portland State when they were, gosh, my mom was like 19, my dad was 21, 22, Portland State. And then, my parents were also small business owners my whole life.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, which cool fact. Everyone who meets me when they get to know me and they find this fact out, they think that it's pretty hysterical, knowing my dad. So he was basically a karate ninja champion. He had a dojo and he's been world champion 3 times.
Wow. But so what small business did they have?
He had a karate dojo.
Oh, okay.
Super long time.
And then he came in at a yogurt shop with like, I was told that the pizza was so good, like people from like around the US would come and get it. That's what you told me.
True-ish. They had a yogurt shop. It's called K&K Yogurt and More by the old Clackamas High School.
You said it.
And it was really good. It was like nectar, but like times 10. And then
Ooh. So yeah, we're seeing a lot of themes with the moms that own companies. It's like the parents have had businesses, and then the supportive husband has been quite a theme. So it sounds like he's supportive now, and he encouraged you to open your own business.
100%. And I think that he is super proud of the fact that, I don't know how to say this without sounding like weird, but I contribute as much or more to our family financially and also being here physically with my kids. So I think that he really respects the fact that I can kind of wear all the hats. And don't get me wrong, anyone who knows Derek will sing his praises. He is an amazing human being and he helps out a ton. So I think we have a really good thing going on, the way we can balance out each other's workload and lives and needs. And that's also, he knows, like when he comes home and I look at him, I'm like, I need out of the house. Like I need to just walk down the street.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure with you, it's just different now. Than what I'm experiencing, because you have 4 and they're younger.
And they're so fun. They're so cute. And I think they wanted to come say hi. So I'm supposed to tell him real quick that they can come inside.
Excuse me,
yep.
Cookie?
You can eat my cookie. I'm gonna have a bite of it. And then you can
Yeah, I want to see your kiddos. They're so cute. I've only really seen the little ones on social media.
Yeah, they are. What are they? How would you describe your little ones? How would you describe Ace?
Just not shy at all. Like, hi, stranger. Like saying hi to strangers. Like he'll just walk up and say hi.
And he's how old is he?
1, and he's like 40 pounds or something like that.
He's big. He's a big boy.
Boing.
Yeah.
10 pounds.
10 and a half.
Yeah. That's so fun. Yeah, you're busy. Gosh. And you're the oldest, so you're holding down the fort, huh, TK? You probably have a lot to do with them. A lot of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Are you the youngest? Are you the youngest? Audrey, right?
Yeah, I'm the youngest. Yeah, Ben's 13.
So is he at Selwood?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a Holy Family? That's what you said, right?
Yeah, I am.
So you're gonna go so you're gonna be in no. Holy Family, they go up to 8th.
Yeah, they go 8th.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just switching it up a little bit.
Yeah. Sometimes you need to switch it up.
Yeah, and each kid's different. They all have different learning styles, and so they don't all have to go to the same school, is what we're seeing.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I hear them. TK just says, "Oh, I hear them. I hear them." Yep, you'll know. They're here. I'm gonna open that glass door for them real quick so they don't like just run.
bet there's one.
So what are you guys doing a lot of homeschool type stuff or letting it go, or what's your stance on that?
We're doing what we can. Yeah, I'm not trying to be too strict about it because I think mental health is really important right now. And so he does some stuff. His teacher's been awesome through it. Hi, can you guys come say hi? Here's the 2-year-old first. Shocking.
Hi, is it Ace? Hi. Careful with the coffee.
Hi.
Hi, who's that? Who's that?
Can you say hi?
Mom.
Yes.
Hi.
Yeah.
So wait, who's who?
Who's who? Tell me.
Ace.
No, let them say who they are. Who are you? You're a cookie? Okay, who are you? Okay. So who are you? You can try that cookie, yes. If you say, what's your name? What's your name? Yeah, sure. If you tell them your name, you can try the coffee.
I don't want to try it.
You don't.
AC.
This is Nora, right
Hi,
here.
Nora.
This is Savvy.
This is Sav, my blonde-haired, blue-eyed.
Hi. We heard about do you guys like rice? Do you eat rice a lot from your grandpa?
Do you like Juju's rice? Sounds about right that no one's going to answer now.
Yes.
They're busy with their coffee now.
Now they're busy. Yeah. So this is basically what my life looks like.
Yeah.
Between the hours of like 9 and 5 with a 2-hour break in between.
Yeah. But it works, right? I mean,
There's no more.
has a cookie, but we don't, Mom.
well, and you're your own boss, so
We have a cookie.
Can you have a cookie? Well, do you want to say hi? If you say hi first, turn around and say hello. My name is Savvy. Oh no, nothing. No.
AC.
Bribery doesn't even work. Like I don't know what's happening.
well, thank you. It was fun sharing your experience with us and your culture.
Thank you. Yeah. I can't think anymore. So whatever you say after this point.
Now that they're here.
Now that they're
That is
Crazy.
yeah.
He's just taking the coffee without the sugar.
This is the reality of it.
Yeah.
You like, yeah.
Yeah, good luck with those transactions and hopefully you get some more so that more income can go back to the community.
Me too. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
All right, everybody. Can you say bye? Oh, that's it.
Bye.
Bye.
Have a good day. Thanks.
Bye.